A deep dive into the conspiracy theory that governments are controlling us with fluoride. On the World Wide Web, there are few black holes more enticing to fall down than the Great Fluoride Conspiracy. Some would call it the ramblings of paranoid truth gurus who spend too much time maintaining their dreads and making YouTube videos about Atlantis. Others insist that it's the largest mass control experiment of our times. Where does the truth lie in an argument taken up by both sides with near religious conviction? It's almost impossible to decipher. Perhaps it's somewhere between the two. The idea, in a nutshell, is that governments put fluoride in our water supply in order to negatively affect huge populations, for their own financial gains. That fluoride is actually a strong tranquilizer in disguise. That the UK and US want their citizens to be zombies. That Kellogg's, Nestle, Crest and other food companies, known as the fluoride mafia, are all in on it. That fluoride dumping is secretly wrapped up in Illuminati interests. If you dig into why water fluoridation began, you find a convoluted, suspicious mess. According to the conspiracy theory, the name of the company with the biggest profit to be made from water fluoridation was Alcoa. The Alcoa company had an unlimited supply of toxic waste, a byproduct of aluminium, aka fluoride. At their lab, an Alcoa-sponsored biochemist did a test on rats that showed cavities were reduced with the fluoridated water and concluded that the case should be regarded as proved. In this historic moment in 1939, so the story goes, the first public proposal that the U.S. should fluoridate its water supplies wasn't made by a doctor or a dentist, but an industry scientist working for a company that was also threatened by fluoride damage claims. Another part of the theory is that, during the Second World War, industrial fluoride pollution increased because of the production and extensive use of Alcoa aluminum in aircraft manufacturing. It was after the Second World War that many governments began to put fluoride in our water supplies to protect people against cavities. Coincidence? Currently, about 372 million people, around 5.7% of the world's population, receive artificially fluoridated water in about 24 countries, including Australia, Canada, Ireland, the US and the UK. Since the 1950s, there has been relentless debate over whether there's any real reason to do this. Early conspiracy theorists declared that it was a communist plot to weaken American public health. Many have argued from a moral and ethical view that the public haven't chosen to be consuming it and so it's against individual will. From an economic standpoint, public money is being used on something without definitive proof of benefits. Some dentists and medical professionals have even said fluoridation of water isn't the best way to reduce tooth decay. The tangled conspiracy gets even darker with comments on Reddit threads such as Hitler used fluoride first. And they got this from the Nazis. Illuminati scum. The so-called fact that Hitler gave people in concentration camps fluoride water to keep them docile and unable to resist Nazi power is used often by the anti-fluoridation brigade. Many say this treatment was then repeated in Russian gulags.